Phalia is making some sort of push against Admiral Akbar.
Meanwhile,
You're thinking of eating me, aren't you? I'm thinking the same thing, motherfucker.
Shrek!
Fiona!
Mom! Harold!
Hello there. I'm Darren,
And I'm Doogie.
and this is the Real Sequels, the series of events that happened after episode 6 in the books, novels, and sometimes comics. Today we're looking at chapter 20 of Heir The Empire.
Indeed. So, chapter 20 starts with Han, 3PO, and Lando in the Millennium Falcon, and they're on a call with Winter. Obviously, no visuals because that would give everything away. So, C3PO is saying in Leia's voice, yeah, we're just at the Abrogado system. You know, me and Han thought that while we're out here, we might as well take a look around the system and check some things out. We'll head back soon. And Winter's like, yeah, okay. And then Winter asks to speak to Han, and Han and Lando give each other a look and are like, yeah, she's on to us. Winter knows. So Winter doesn't actually say anything, but she's talking away to Han, and basically under the pretense of talking about Admiral Akbar's family and his kids and stuff, Winter lets Han know that there's some trouble brewing on Coruscant, and Han takes that to mean that Phalia is making some sort of push against Admiral Akbar.
meanwhile,
You're thinking of eating me, aren't you? I'm thinking the same thing, motherfucker.
And so when they end the call and Han and Lando are leaving the Millennium Falcon, Han is talking to Lando and saying, you know, after we meet this contact, we're going to go back to Coruscant. And he's saying that because if Phalia really is making some sort of push against Akbar, then Akbar is going to need Leia there to help sort of mediate the rest of the council and make sure that Phalia doesn't run away with unlimited power.
Yeah.
So Han and Lando, they leave the Falcon and they're walking through the space dock on this city. And as they make their way towards the location that the contact is meeting them, they notice that a docking bay is being raided by a large team of planetary security officers, and they see them conducting this operation. So they obviously give them a wide berth around the entire thing because it's like, we want to keep a low profile here. So shortly after that, they spot the building, and it's a small building sort of wedged in between two larger ones, and it's actually a casino. So as they walk in, they see the bar area, and they see the casino tables where different games are being played. And the contact had told them to sit at a table in between the bar and the casino area, and the contact will meet them there. So Han and Lando, they go sit down, they order a couple of drinks and stuff, and they sort of settle in to wait. And as Han is looking around at the game tables in the casino, he spots their contact, Torv. And so he sees Torv playing a game of Sabacc, and Han sort of grumbles a bit, and he's like, why is he sitting there playing Sabacc? He's meant to be here meeting us. And as he's midway through this, like, grumbling, he notices a group of 3 guys in a shadowy corner of the casino, and Han's smuggler senses are tingling.
He goes up to the bartender, he's like, what do you call that man in the shadows? And he's like, around here we call him Strider.
Yeah, Han gets the feeling that this group of guys are government security officers as well. Han points this out to Lando, and Han suggests that the docking bay that was being raided on the way in might have actually been the docking bay that Torv had docked his ship in. And so Han orders up a pack of 20 Sabacc chips, and he makes his way over to the table that Torv is playing at, because if he's correct, then that means that Torv is trying to hide out and be inconspicuous. So Han walks up to an empty seat at the table and sits down and asks to be dealt in. And the dealer tries to brush him off and say, no, we're like in the middle of playing, so we'll deal you in next game. And Han's like, no, sure, the first round of betting hasn't even finished yet, so like, there's no problem, deal me in. And the dealer tries to say no again, but Han is like, come on, and he throws in his chips to the pot.
Yeah.
And so at that point, it's like, well, okay, I have to now, because you're in. So giving him like the stankiest eye he can, the dealer deals Han out a hand of Sabacc cards. Han strikes up a conversation with Torv,
Mhm.
and when Torv looks at Han, he kind of glances and then does like a double take when he pegs who Han is.
Mhm.
But Han tries to signal to Torv that Docking Bay 63 is being raided,
Mm.
and Torv seems to pick up on this.
Mm.
But at that point, the rest of the gamblers are like, can we play the game here? So Han's like, yeah. And so Han looks at his cards, and as he's about to bet, someone from behind him shouts out, cheater,
Mhm.
and storms up to Han, grabs the cards out of Han's hand,
Mhm.
and says, look, this is a skifter. And Han's like, no, it's not. Those are the cards I was dealt. And it's like this big burly guy with like a big bushy beard. And the guy says, no, look, it's a skifter. And he lifts one of the cards that Han was holding and presses a corner of it. And the face value of the card switches. And it switches around and around as the guy keeps pressing the corner. So at this point, because there's been a big sort of ruckus and someone's been accused of cheating, a crowd of people have started to gather around the table.
Mm.
So the casino security are like, right, get the scanner, we're going to find the original card that they must have palmed
Mhm.
and swapped out for this skifter card. And so they scan Han and they don't find anything. And they scan the dealer and they don't find anything. And in the midst of all this, the dealer points out that Torv has left the table. When this is pointed out, Han hears from behind him a loud swearing and sudden running, and he looks around to see those 3 government security officers running out the door. So obviously they were after Torv.
Mhm.
And so Han, after saying that Torv has got away, he says to the casino security, I'm just going to go. And the security's like, yeah, get out and don't come back, basically. So Han makes his way out and he sees that Lando has already left.
Mm.
So Han leaves and heads back to the Falcon. He gets back to the Falcon and he finds that Lando and Torv are in there.
Mhm.
And so they're sitting around the Dejarik table in the Millennium Falcon. Torv is like, yeah, I'm in your debt for helping me get out of that and for letting me know that my ship has been impounded by the government. So what can Talon Kardde do for you?
Mm.
And Han says that he wants to meet with Talon Kardde in person to discuss setting up a legitimate transport deal for the New Republic using his smuggler network. And Torv was like, yeah, I got word that you were looking for this, and obviously people were suspicious because the Mon Calamari in general are notorious for cracking down on smugglers, and so people were suspicious that it was just some sort of bait to try and get them caught. And Han's like, no, it is legitimate. Akbar's not happy about it, but we're desperate for people to transport stuff for us, so he's agreed to it, even though he's not happy about it. And Torv's like, okay, fair enough, but you won't be able to meet Kardde because he's in the base at the minute, and it's a secret base, so we can't just take people there.
Mhm.
And Han's like, fair enough, okay, but how are you planning on getting there? Because your ship has been impounded. And there's a bit of back and forth, and eventually Torv is like, right, okay, fine, I do owe you for getting me out of that. I will take you to the base, but on the condition that you let me program the navigomputer with an erasable module. So basically, it means that Han and Lando won't have the coordinates of their base stored in their navigomputer. And that's pretty much where the chapter ends.
Nice to see a casino scene that wasn't universally hated.
Yeah. No, I never even thought of that while I was reading this one.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Alright, well, if you enjoyed this video, there's a few more floating above. Feel free to give them a wee click. And follow us on social media for a bit of banter.
And some spicy memes.
Some spicy, spicy memes.
See you all next time.
Brr.
Bye.